Hi everyone, I'm Spiro with Newsbud.com, joined here with Sibel Edmonds. Our last session we discussed the four media models that are in existence today, and we're going to dive a little bit deeper into that and focus in on the two models that are most relevant for who we are and what we do. The open source model versus the subscription model. At this point, I'd like to bring in Newsbud founder and editor Sibel Edmonds. Sibel, welcome.
Hello, everyone. Hi, Spiro. Absolutely. The two models that are relevant to what we have been doing here are the subscription model, open source model. And on and off in the past 6, 7 years, even way back when we started Boiling Frogs Post, BFB report, we talked about how do we sustain ourselves. And at that point, we realized in order to have ongoing support that we can count on, and based on that, know where we stand, how much we can expand, how many people we can, bring on board. We decided on subscription model and saying that, okay, we have the core group of people who enjoy reading the analysis we are putting out there and the podcast programs, etc. And they enjoy enough to commit to say, okay, every month, I will pay you whatever it is, $5 or $6. Some people who can do more, they do more, and they have been doing more. There are people who have been putting $50 a month, saying, you know what, I can, and I appreciate what I'm seeing. So subscription model was our model, and we kept going, back and forth and saying, we are creating all this great content. And of course, the first preference would be to open it to all because you want to get this information to as many people as possible. I mean, after all, we keep saying informing or having the debate continue between not only us, what we are producing, but through the comments that are coming under our YouTube channel or on our website. But the dilemma that we faced with was, well, how do you balance the two? Meaning, the open source, of course, is the ultimate model, the best model. Okay? Well, on top of that, we say, we're not going to have any advertisement, no corporate advertisement whatsoever. Okay? So, no advertisement money. We are saying no to foundations. Well, the open source model will be only possible if people with their actions say, yes, I appreciate the content, I see value in it, and I'm willing to commit to pay for whatever I can per month to sustain this because this model, this news organization is important to me. And every time we tried as Boiling Frogs Post, we kept coming back to subscription. Sure, they were wonderful, dedicated individuals who generously donated. But we didn't have enough because unfortunately, even to date, after seeing the agenda-driven news, sugar daddies from various foundations and corporate advertisement and the censorship that comes with that, the pressure that comes with that, there's still this thinking mode out there that says for many people, if it's free, why do I have to pay for it? I enjoy it. I love what they are doing. But hopefully other people will pay. Hopefully other people will say, hey, I'm going to put $5 in this, or I'm going to put $500 in this, or I'm going to put $25 in this. So you get this thing that is a very common phenomenon in psychology, meaning it's almost like prisoner's dilemma. It's saying everybody thinking someone else is going to do it, and I can take advantages for free, or maybe it's even too difficult for me to open my wallet, take out my credit card, and or send a check and send it to the PO box. All these reasons made the open source model not possible for Boiling Frogs Post. So what we did instead, we came up with this model. We said, okay, we are going to have certain level of funding come through Kickstarter in 4 phases, which we are doing. But meanwhile, we are going to keep asking people to voluntarily subscribe. And again, for a cost of a couple of cups of coffee per month, so that we can count on that. And between the two, we will be able to accomplish this objective of independent media, nonpartisan media, no corporate money, no foundation money, etc. And that's exactly where we are here. Um, for subscription, again, we are asking people to voluntarily do that without taking our content and put it behind firewalls, the paywall, the subscription wall. Whether we do it, say, okay, for the first 2 weeks of publication of this video by this producer, we are going to make this content available to our subscribers, which is right. These are the people who are willing to step up to the plate and say, I am supporting you. And then after a couple of weeks or 3 weeks or 4 weeks, once they are archived, make it public to everyone, and to reach this balance that, yes, eventually we make our content public, but we are going to first appreciate and give this content to people who are willing to participate. Because when we are saying we are 100% people-funded media, it's the media organization that we are all owners, meaning all our viewers are part owners in this company, in this organization, in this media entity. So even though we wanted to start doing that right after our first phase one, we said, you know what? No, let's hold off and let's just make everything public immediately. So we publish it, everybody gets it. And our Kickstarter campaign, the way it's going, and also people voluntarily subscribing it, hopefully will prove this method the best method and right. Well, that's where we are today. We are 100% open source. So as viewers, as readers, what we want you to do is to think about it. Think about the salary of the people involved here who are spending way above 40 hours a week, way above, to edit, to produce, the writers, the web administrators, all this amount of work, level of work, resources that are going into this. And say, plus, I don't have to put up with ads. I don't have to question and wonder about who are the corporations who are funding them. I don't have to ever bother myself saying whose agenda they are representing, whether it's George Soros or somebody from the right side. Well, how is that possible? Just pause. Just pause and think about it. That is the answer, the one that just occurred to you. Well, of course, by people, by each person, each individual doing their share. I mean, currently, our Kickstarter is aiming for $130,000. On average, every day we have 5,000 to 6,000 unique IP addresses, people visiting our website, enjoying the articles, watching the videos, looking at our news selection. If 5,000 people, 5,000 people, each one of those people were to give, $50, where would we get with that? I mean, by now our campaign will be over, right? So it's not something that is outrageous, way out there, not achievable. The only thing that it depends upon is for people to just stop and think. They are everything we want. No agenda, no party, etc. And we are the ones who can keep them operational. We are the ones who can help them grow, get even bigger, stronger. We are the ones who can put them out of business. Or in the case of subscription versus open source, we are the ones who will determine whether open source has a chance. You see, you know how people, they say, well, in this case, it's not this particular issue on trial, it's this concept, the concept of liberty on trial, right? Well, in this particular case, the whole concept, notion of open source, being to be totally independent and open source is on trial, meaning we together, you together with us, are the sole determinants of whether this can be 100% open source, 100% independent. So please keep that in mind. And that's exactly what Newsbud wants. What we want is, we want people who see value in this. If you don't see value, you don't see value. I mean, who are we to judge you for that? But if you see any value, if you're coming and visiting our website, if you're watching our video and you're saying, wow, this was amazing, I had not heard this particular angle of explanation, or this report that is such an amazing expose, then do your share and say, I want this. I see value in this, and it is up to me and individuals like me to sustain this, to make this grow, to make it stronger, and to prove to the other side, that yes, it is possible. I mean, the same concept applies to even presidential race or people who are running for Senate, especially today with the internet. Do they have to go and kiss asses of the corporations and sell their souls to get millions of dollars from this particular financial institution or that particular pharma? If people were to find the kind of leadership they wanted and they were to support it, even those corporations would be irrelevant. Because imagine what are we, 300 million people, our population? Imagine what 10, 15 million people can do, So it's the same thing. This is open source on trial, and we want to continue operating this way, meaning we produce, you receive, and you will determine whether it's possible or not. We get the support from you, we'll continue, we'll expand. We don't, then it's going to be, okay, so we will go into subscription model. And right now, this is the consensus among all our team members that yes, we want to remain open source. And that depends on you.
Sibel, I have to say that I have not seen any other media outlet even mentioning or uttering the words of disclosing where their funding comes from. This is a one of a kind deal here. The vision that you had in putting this together and putting it on Kickstarter, which has the most strict guidelines out there. They don't accept money from how many different countries? I mean, so many different countries are restricted from donating to Kickstarter. So there's the approval process. They have to, there's so many different steps involved, and it's the most transparent and honest way to do it. And that fits right along with our motto, Newsbud, Media with Integrity. I think integrity is the proper word to use. So I hope people can appreciate that and understand what all goes into that. And in fact, I've had the wonderful opportunity here recently to have some conversations with some of our supporters of Newsbud, of Boiling Frogs Post, and it was a very good experience, one that we wanted to share with our viewers. We want to give our viewers a platform, a voice, because they are just as much a part of this organization as you or I, Sibel. This is without our supporters, we wouldn't be here doing this right now. So
that's absolutely true. I'm so glad you brought this up, because in a way it's hard, especially since all of us stuck with this promotion and marketing stuff. This is not our forte. We want to engage in investigative journalism production, so we are not salespeople, etc. And it's kind of, because we are not that way, it's hard to go out there if we feel like we are engaged in the self-promotion thing. So you're absolutely right. We should instead have some of our long-term supporters and short-term supporters, people who have been donating to our Kickstarters, pledging, people who have been subscribing to our website, even though our content is open source, to hear from them and have them tell other people why Newsbud, why they have been visiting this site for the last few years, why they're coming to our YouTube channel and watching our videos, and most importantly, why they are reaching out into their pocket and say, I'm going to do my share, whether it's $10, whether it's $1,000, I'm going to do my share. And what better way to hear and actually put this out than reach out to those people and say, you know what? You tell other people. I think that's a great idea, and let's do that. Let's start. It's like, as of now, let's start bringing in some of our supporters, donors, subscribers, and let them tell us and tell our viewers in their own word, from the heart, sincerely, why Newsbud. And if any of you out there who wants to participate in this, first of all, we have to know that you have been visiting our site, you have been supporting us. Doesn't matter, the amount doesn't matter, but if you want to take part in this, please email us. Send us a direct message through Twitter, contact us through our website and say, look, I have been reading, I have been viewing I've been listening to you guys for this many years or this many months, and I have something to say. I want to tell people why, and I want to tell them why I'm doing. That's a fantastic idea. So yeah, let's just stop right here and just let other people, viewers, people who make Newsbud possible, talk about it and tell us and tell everyone why.
I fully support Newsbud, and probably the biggest reason is because I feel that it's fully transparent. This is one of the goals that Sibel has in mind, and I see it this way. And of course, the alternative, the mainstream media, seems to be going or is already in the exact opposite direction. It certainly is far from being transparent, and I like the fact that Newsbud is 100% people funded. That is people who are not trying to direct the content, um, and that the Newsbud editors wish to provide. They will direct the content, and if we feel that we're getting our money's worth, then we'll continue to support the project.
I just appreciate that you guys are there to shine the light in the darkness and kind of light the path and say look beyond the story, look beyond the hype, and actually dig in and find those nuggets of truth that are out there, because the rest is just distraction, and that's what creates all the fears, because people don't understand a problem, they're going to fear it. But you guys actually shine the light on the truth and allow that to voice of reason, which allows people to logically come to their own conclusion that, hey, wait a minute, everything I've been told is a lie. I need to research this more and get to the bottom here. And that's what you guys do in a hurry. And I just really love that about your service. And you got that daily Newsbud top pick stories that you put out that really refocus people's attention on what's really going on behind the scenes, because everybody else is so distracted with what's going on out there, and there's only so many hours in a day that they can absorb things. But I really love that service that you just put those stories out there and people can read them at their own leisure and then come to their own conclusions.
We cannot rely on the mainstream media anymore. It's just they're untrustworthy. They have handlers, they're owners, and the people at the top of the chain have their own hidden agendas. And if you do some research, it's very easy to see what those hidden agendas are. And I don't believe Newsbud has a hidden agenda. I think they're quite pure in their beliefs, and this is why I keep gravitating towards this team.
And it's been a lot of fun to get the word out for Newsbud, because I think it's really important that people find out about it, because you guys are 100% people sponsored. So without the people support, you can't really function to the caliber that we're used to with you. So that's one of the reasons I love supporting you guys, because the more people that know about it, the more people go, yeah, this is real. This is real news. It's not fluff. It has nothing to do with the Kardashians or, who's voting on The Voice or any of that. So there's really no distractions about what the real issues are, and it's meaningful dialogue every time we interact with Newsbud.
I wish you all the best, and I hope this is successful, because it really deserves to be. It really does. I don't think there's anything quite like this going on in the alternative media, content-wise, and with the transparency and the integrity that Newsbud is bringing to the table.
You've covered Turkey and Syria, and you read the Russian headlines, and you bring things to the forefront that people don't even hear about, whether they're watching the BBC or NBC or whatever. They're never going to hear the real truth about Aleppo. They're never going to really hear the truth about the Turkish coup, especially if they're watching CNBC and NBC, because they're actually, you caught them working for the CIA, and no one, the only ones that exposed it was you and Sibel, and you actually went out to New York and were proactive to ask them the question. But they wanted to hide from the truth. That's okay, but you actually exposed the truth, which is refreshing.
I would say that in contrast to the mainstream media, Newsbud is offering a lot of high quality content, rich content, in-depth material that the mainstream media just is not delivering to us today. There's a very obvious bias to the news stories that we're getting from the mainstream media, and that's the main reason that I really enjoy coming back to Newsbud all the time.
Well, anybody who is a truth lover, someone that is a freedom lover, should really be well informed. And the only way you can be well informed is to get viable information that you can make logical conclusions from. And I find Newsbud to be absolutely transparent in that way. Whatever stories you're reporting on, there's no hidden agenda. There's nothing other than, these are the facts, draw your own conclusion. And that's what I love about Newsbud. And I think everybody should not think of it as investing in Newsbud, but investing in themselves and investing in being informed. And the more, knowledge is power, but you have to use that power, and you can't be well informed unless you have the knowledge. And there's so many distractions out there, but Newsbud doesn't create any distractions. It actually goes to the heart of every single story, and and within a short amount of time, you can become well informed and be more well informed than 95% of the citizens in the U.S. and the world.
I'd just like to say Sibel is doing a wonderful job with this project, and I just fully support everything that she's doing. I think she's a wonderful person and very bright as well. And I hope it works out. I really do.
Well, stay tuned for more updates. Sibel, thank you very much. Be sure to follow Newsbud on Twitter, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and please share and support our Kickstarter campaign. We need your support now more than ever. As Sibel just laid out, the two different models that are in existence, the subscription versus the open source. It's up to you at this point to decide.